Good morning, guys. So I've actually got pretty much everyone with me in this very room today because we all need a little bit of moral support on this topic. Every January, we set this long list of resolutions that inevitably we're all going to forget what we even started, and we usually set ourselves up for failure. Now, 9 times out of 10, the resolutions are quite vague. They're actually like unrealistic, but actually they don't even fit in with our lifestyles or our current life. Which is the same thing now I think about it. For example, we start saying we're going to be, in 2026, we're going to be fitter, we're going to be healthier, we're going to be more confident, or we're going to be all of these things. But actually, what the fuck does that even mean? On a random day in June, what does that actually look like? Instead of a long list of resolutions, we actually want to pick one big goal that we can stick to. So that when motivation is through the floor and non-existent, we actually can just go like, okay, well, the goal is this, I'm going to do it anyway. This goal is going to be something that's going to make you feel slightly uncomfortable, but also quite exciting, so that you're more likely to stick to it. Okay, so that sounds bloody marvellous, but what is that even going to look like? We're actually going to start right at the end and then work backwards with this one. So if it is December 31st, I want you to think, okay, what am I looking back on the year? Thinking, okay, that was a huge success. I've achieved what I wanted to achieve. And here I am standing as a product of my resolutions. How do I feel in my body? What habits am I proud of? What thing have I put down in order to pick something up? Because we want to basically sort of see ourselves as being fully booked at full capacity of shit we're doing. So we don't want to be like, yeah, I'm going to start karate, I'm going to start this, because when have you got time? You want to be able to put something down in order to pick something up. So you're going to have to think, okay, what is that going to look like for this year? Once we have that clear picture, we're then going to work backwards. So forget about what we actually want to achieve. And instead, we want to think about what someone living that life does most weeks. Realistic resolutions aren't dramatic. They're not a whole life haul of, oh, I'm going to do this now, I'm going to do that. They're actually very boring and repetitive things that we do most weeks, most days, and they're forgiving things. They're not, I'll never miss X, Y, and Z again. But actually, they're more like, I'll restart quickly once I fall off the wagon. They're not, I'll train 6 times a week. But actually, they are, I'll move my body or lift heavy shit 3 to 4 times a week, even when life gets busy. Progress comes from consistency and not giving up. They're not waiting for willpower and waiting for motivation, because actually those two fueling systems are shit for actually keeping up, because they come and they go. Like, they're not reliable at all. So this year, let's not ask what our resolutions should be, and instead, I'm going to hear Steve cringing and Kent over this one, let's ask ourselves, who do we want to be by the end of 2026? And what do they do consistently in order to be that person? Okay, so the framework for 2026 is that we're going to pick one big goal, let's get out of the way, and then work backwards from there. Make it realistic enough so that we want to repeat it. Now, one hard truth that I've learned since becoming an adult is that actually life is fucking relentless, and there's always going to be struggles. So there's never going to be a right time to start. But the one thing that we can control is our behaviors and what we do and how we react to things. So what I want to make sure is I want you to have a hard old look at yourself. Are your actions and your words matching up? Can I suggest one thing in 2026? And that is be more Ezra. Let's move more, lift heavy shit, and not sweat over the small things. For the final time, Happy New Year. He moves, he laughs, he lives. That's not what I was going to say. Oh, God.